Angel Batista is the most lovable person in Miami Metro. His fashionable hats and clothes give him an air of effortless cool. Although he is undoubtedly a fantastic detective, this does not negate the fact that he is also a decent man who aspires to be friends with everyone. Among them is Dexter Morgan. He survives the initial Dexter unscathed, but as the series progresses and more people die around him, he does develop into a more melancholy figure. Batista played a minor role in the film Dexter, New Blood. Although he is now the captain in Miami, he unintentionally learns that Dexter staged his death and is still alive while attending a conference in New York. Similar to LaGuardia, he starts to question whether Dexter is the Real Bay Harbor butcher, so he travels to Iron Lake, New York, to meet the man. After the killer was shot in the chest by his kid at the conclusion of New Blood, Batista visits Dexter in his hospital room, which is where Dexter, Resurrection starts. Even though someone else has been held accountable for Dexter's most recent transgressions, Batista still believes he is the Bay Harbor butcher. Instead, he follows Dexter to New York and has no qualms about confronting Harrison with his charges or even appearing before the investigators investigating the murder case in which Harrison is a suspect. He is taking action because he is positive that Dexter is the notorious serial killer. He will be killed for that. Batista cannot avoid the same destiny that befell Doakes and LaGuardia. This season cannot finish with Batista getting his guy because it has already been confirmed that Resurrection would continue for several more seasons. Now, if there is no conclusion, they could choose to have Batista continue to chase Dexter each season, but that would get boring very fast. Curiosity will kill the cat again, and that's the only way out. Although it's not a given that Dexter will kill him, it's conceivable that he will approach Leon Prater's, Peter Dinklage, gang of serial killers too closely. In the worst possible scenario, what if Harrison killed Batista in order to keep his father safe? In any case, Angel is dead, and it will be devastating when it does happen because Batista is one of the greatest and most lovable characters in the history of the series. Debra Morgan shot and killed Maria LaGuardia. Not so fortunate is another Miami Metro member. Maria LaGuardia, Lauren Velez, a bright woman who swiftly becomes captain and subsequently weds Batista, is one of Doakes' closest pals. Because of her keen intuition, she strives to clear Dexter's name even if she first doesn't suspect him of being the Bay Harbor butcher. She is also positive that Doakes wasn't him. Even if they are surprised by the Doakes revelation, everyone else accepts it, which is bad for Dexter. LaGuardia does not discover Dexter's sinister identity until season 7. Finding a blood slide that was left at a crime scene is the first step. Hold on, how could this be if Doakes was the Bay Harbor butcher? That implies that the real murderer is still at large. She begins to suspect that it might be Dexter and devises a scheme to set him up by allowing the release of a murderer, not just any murderer, though, who killed Dexter's mother. Tossing chum at a shark is analogous to that. Dexter recognizes the situation and avoids falling for the trick. A significant aspect of the Dexter universe is death. Every series in the franchise is about a serial killer who takes out other killers after all. However, the spectator experiences relief or delight rather than sadness when Dexter Morgan, Michael C. Hall, eliminates someone like the Trinity Killer, John Lithgow, or the other innumerable killers who have been on his table. However, Dexter's actions have put all of the innocent people in his immediate vicinity in danger and have resulted in several fatalities. Rita's, Julie Benz, death is the most sad death on television. Furthermore, Debra, Jennifer Carpenter, Dexter's own sister, was unable to survive the first season of the show. Then there are the decent people in the Homicide division of Miami Metro who come dangerously close to discovering Dexter's true identity and die young as a result. Even though Dexter wasn't the one who killed him, Sergeant James Doakes, Erik King, killed him after learning that Dexter was the Bay Harbor butcher. Doakes had always known Dexter was a muthafucka from the start. For Captain Maria LaGuardia, Lauren Velez, the same thing occurred. Discover who Dexter really is, and I'm sorry, but you're out. Angel Batista, David Zayas, historical figure, is now pursuing Dexter and is committed to seeing him punished for his sins in Dexter, Resurrection. This can indicate that he won't survive. As the Bay Harbor butcher, James Doakes was killed and fell. Seeing Dexter attempt to conceal his secret is among the most fascinating aspects of the show. Everyone around him, aside from the spectral presence of his father, James Remar, and now his kid, is unaware of the reality, even though the audience is aware of everything, from his violent Genesis tale to his innermost thoughts, which are conveyed through voiceover. For his family and co-workers, Dexter is merely that weirdo who excels at his profession as a blood splatter analyzer for the Miami Metro Police Department, even though they may find him a little strange or distant.